Shalom. First thing is foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit. It says, what is disease? I would say 10. Okay, as we know that the X is the Roman numerical for 10. And I say it that way for particular purposes because we know that Esau Edom is messing with the algorithm, and he's pretty much tripping because this information is coming out. So to make it as PC as possible without having the issues with this devil, we just gonna say what it was, okay, in a subliminal way. But it says here, the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum held to be in Davos, Switzerland, next week is on more radars than usual this year, thanks to one of the sessions preparing for you know what. Okay, now let me go here real quick. You go to World Economic Forum and you look at the images on there. And you see this. This represents 666. Okay, as you see, the double zeros, 666, which is the number of a man. If you look at it, it's 666, which we know what it is according to Revelation, the 13th chapter, 17th verse. Okay, the number of a man being this Edomite and his technology that he wants to implant in people, because that's the end goal here. Okay, is to get enough people frightened enough and put this technology in them and pretty much link them up into a smart grid, which is why you're saying that these digital infrastructures are becoming more and more sophisticated. With the smartphones, with the, the particular smart TVs, with the devices, with the electric cars, the smart cities, just to name but a few. But could this be the road to that? Because we know that the first trial one of the 2020 situation, we know that that pretty much bankrupt particular companies that put a lot of people out of work, that displaced a lot of people, and people still haven't really fully recovered from that, because of the LDs. Now they're speaking that this is way more deadlier than the test run, and if the test run shut down a lot of businesses and it caused lockdowns and all this other stuff, then how much more this? The economy is through. Okay, but it says here, it says the disease 10 can cause the next, according to the WHO, which is World Health. What is that? The World Economic Forum, the WHO, World Health Organization, or EBOLA, SARS, or NIPHA, H9. Pathogens researcher keeping a watchful eye on, which these things are manufactured. Okay, they're created, and information has come out. Doctors have been revealing these things and basically going into how the whole account of these particular pestilence are man-made. Okay, even though it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, sending plagues on the earth, he's using the Edomites to do so. Okay, same with this manufactured weather. Was looking at an article by title from Natural News, and they was basically stating that this whole Arctic blast was manufactured in order to kill off crops and destroy farmlands and pretty much put a halt to humanity, because it was just unreasonably cold outside. Okay, it wasn't a natural cold, but it was more of a bone-chilling manufactured cold. Okay, because you got cold and then you got cold that don't seem real. I mean, you stand 5-10 minutes in this shit. Like, I was out there dusting off the car, and I mean, within 5 minutes, man, my fucking legs felt like they was frostbitten. If I would have been out there another 5 minutes, I would have been through, But it says here, disease 10, according to the World Health Organization, represents the knowledge that a serious international epic, could cause by the pathogen currently unknown to cause human disease. Okay, now when you go into epidemic, you got endemic, you got epidemic, you got pandemic, which pandemic goes into like the entire planet. Okay, when you go into epi, I believe that goes into like a particular population, like certain states or countries. But when you go into a pan, Going back into Pangea means the whole entire world. Okay. But it says, indeed, the organization's head, Director General Tedros Adhanom, I can't even pronounce that, will speak at the event in addition to Michael Damar, chair of the board of AstraZeneca, as we know, Brazil Minister of Health, Nisia Trinidad Lima, and Jamil Edmond Anderlini, editor-in-chief of Politico Europe. Now, when you look up these men, of course, they're Edomite men, okay? Mainly of small head or German origin. Oh, actually, look, Jake looking dude, huh? Ethiopian public health. But nonetheless, he's still a heathen. You know, and you better believe that he's taking his orders from the elites. But let's look up this guy here. Michel Damar. Let's see if I can get it on here. See, look this devil up. Gives us a picture of this guy. Yeah, of course. Of course, right? It's always the Edomite. But you know, according to the scriptures, you know, these men, they come with ill intent. But anyway, it says, the run-off-the-mill, you-know-what, preparation session was blown out of proportion late this week, leading to the phrase Disease 10, trending on both Twitter and Google at times. It says right-wing social media accounts slammed the session, charging that world leaders would convene to discuss plans to impose such and such mandates, restrict free speech, and even plan themselves. And that's absolutely right. And we found that out with the last ordeal. Okay, but yet you still got fact checkers on there speaking as if these things is not so. Like, you know, oh, that's misinformation. No, these things are very prevalent. Okay, and information has come out. What the hell? Your information has come out that these elites, and Salakia, I was looking at something, but these elites are manufacturing these particular crises. But when you speak on those things, then they want to shut you down and say, oh, nah, you're being a sea theorist. Wait a minute, man. All this information is coming out on you devils. You know? But it says here, on Thursday night, the former Trump-era Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs for the U.S. Treasury Department and Fox News analyst Monica Crowley tweeted a baseless warning that unelected globalists, which these men who we just showed the picture, they're completely unelected. Okay, nobody voted for these men, but yet they assumed the power. But it says unelected globalists at the World Elective Forum will hold a panel on the future you-know-what, 20 times deadlier than the you-know-what. So, hey, this one is going to drop bodies. Okay, I remember they named it under different names. At first you had what they call what is it called? Not the rheumatic, but it's the one that had the 80% mortality rate. I forgot the name. I can't really think of it at this time. But regardless of it, man, they disguise these particular ordeals under different names. And now they calling it Disease 10. And I'll say it that way. But it says 20 times deadlier than the you-know-what. It says just in time for the election, the new contagion would allow them to implement a new WHO treaty, lock down again, restrict free speech, and destroy more freedom, she wrote. Sound far-fetched? So did what happened in 2020. But yet, when you present these facts to the average people, or to the average peon here, they will literally say, nah, that's not the case. You guys are making that up. You guys are sea theorists. Why? Because you people believing in your president, your current administration. You believe in NBC nightly news. You know, you believe in all these particular talking points that these talking heads that was set up to deceive you, versus to the information that's readily coming out. Okay? But it says Dr. Mesh, senior scholar at Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, tells Fortune that those medical and public health professions have always conducted thought experiments and tabletop exercises to prepare for such and such. It says these exercises serve as vital function of identifying strengths and weaknesses, as well as highlighting the important aspects of response that merit for further refinement. It says to arbitrarily suggest these exercises and meetings are part of some kind of conspiracy evades the actual purpose that they serve the problems on which they are trying to gain traction for all the nihilistic purposes of compromising such and such preparedness and brazen pondering, he added. But Dr. Stuart Ray, vice chair of Medicine for Data Integrity and Analytics at Johns Hopkins Department of you-know-what, told Fortune that it would be irresponsible for world leaders not to meet at the forum because they're planning to take over. Okay, they're planning to bankrupt the society and they're planning to introduce this MOTB, and they need the perfect crisis to do it because the CHIP is already ready to go, but they need to scare people into subjection on accepting it because they know the average person now looks at the elites like they're a bunch of tyrannical demons, in which they are. You see, so they need to find a perfect crisis that's going to scare the shit out of you so people can literally put out their right hands, and get the you-know-what. It says such meetings should be publicized because such planning requires oversight, appreciation for personal impact on a personal and economic freedom, and impact on special populations, he added. And it makes good sense for a global public, scientific leader and interested private individuals to be involved. But it says the WHO maintains a list of priority pathogens that pose the greatest public health risks due to their potential, and or there are no or insufficient countermeasures available. It says last updated in 2018, an updated list was expected last year and is now expected during the first half of 2024. But while the list is far from exhaustive and doesn't necessarily indicate the most likely cause of the next here are known pathogens global public health officials are keeping an eye on in addition to this. Okay? Yeah, this is it. I call it the Mossberg pump. It says the Ebola and the Mossberg pump diseases, which in this family cause, this is the hemorrhagic, that's what I was looking for, or bloody fevers, which are typically accompanied by bleeding from bodily orifices and internal organs. It says the family consists of 5 strains of in addition to Mossberg, an extremely similar that made headlines during an outbreak in the Equatorial Guinea earlier this year. So yeah, they're trying to pretty much take motherfuckers out with this. And all you men and all you jakes that took that, hey, you could very well say that you ain't gonna make it because you're not gonna have the necessary bodily function, and I say it that way, or the diplomatic immunity, I say it that way, in order to regain your health because you've been compromised, man, by this man's technology. It says, on average, it kills about 50% of those that have it sickens, though the case fatalities rates have ranged from 25 to 90%, according to the you-know-who. Wow. It says the Mossberg also killed around 50% of those it infects. Cases through fatality rates range from around 24 to 88%, experts say. It says, while there are 2 licenses, for the deadliest strain of this, there aren't any for the other 4, nor is there any approved such and such for the Mossberg, though there are some in development. So there you go. Okay, there you go. And these are like just a list of symptoms, which is, typical the seasonal FLU, from muscle aches, dizziness, neck pain, backache, headache, sore eyes, sensitivity, vomiting, diarrhea. 2 to 4 days later, agitation may turn into sleepiness, depression. Abdominal pain may concentrate in the upper right quadrant, and the liver may become enlarged. Wow. But wait a minute, how's the so-called respiratory ordeal is causing all these other bodily functions when this is just respiratory? Okay? So this man is literally trying to kill people off, and I was reading that they want to eliminate billions of people because they feel like, mainly you people here in America, you're basically useless eaters. So let's see what the scripture said about this. All right? So this is the book of Ezekiel 7. And I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, now would I surely pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thy abominations. So overall, this is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai at work. Okay? It says, and thy eyes shall not spare, neither would I have pity, but will recompense thee according to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye should know that I am the Lord that smiteth. So, hey, when this thing happened and body starts to drop, hey, you're going to know that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai had something to do with this. Because as much as we like to blame Esau because he's the devil, okay, but the Most High has put it in his spirit to invent these things. Because the scriptures say men have sought out many inventions, many inventions. And the Lord has put the spirit on these scientists, these devils, to push this madness on the people. Okay, mainly our people, because that's really who is designed to target. Okay, you Jakes are not gonna have any particular diplomatic immunity to this. I say it that way because most of you Jakes, you went down there and you pulled up the sleeve and you let them, did what they did to you. And that's on you. Okay, because we warned you, but yet, we was crazies, we were seed theorists, we didn't know what we were talking about, we were just all manners of debauchery. But anyway, it says, and my eyes shall not spare, neither would I have pity, but I will recompense thee to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye should know that I am the Lord that smiteth. But behold, the day, it says, but behold, the day, behold, it is come, and the morning is gone forth, and the rod have blossomed, and the pride have budded, and violence is risen up to the rod of wickedness, and none of them shall remain, nor their multitude, nor any of theirs, neither shall there be welling for them, because ain't nobody gonna cry for you, Jakes, when you start to die in the streets. Okay, they're not even crying for you now when you get blown away by these cops. Okay, nobody is vouching for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But yeah, you got other Israelites out there that want to come at us because we're teaching that Hispanics and Native Americans are indeed of the 12 tribes of Israel. But yet all this stuff is getting ready to come on the earth and bring all types of damage and death. But yet niggas want to argue with us over the tribes, over the 12 tribe chart. Show you where your Jake's your priorities ain't right. But it says here, the time is come and the day draweth near. But let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn. For wrath is upon all the multitude thereof, because we know that the first ordeal, that shut down a lot of mom and pop businesses, man. Okay, a lot of people went bankruptcy. A lot of people went homeless. They lost their jobs, their homes. There was a lot of PPP loan scams. And a lot of people got locked up behind that. You see? But it says here, it says, did I read that? Yep, it says, neither shall any strengthen himself. Yep, it says, for the seller should not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive, because they're going to lose everything. But it says, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself any iniquity of his life. But it says, they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none go into the battle. Right, because Jake ain't paying attention to this, man. Okay, they're going to go down there and listen to what Biden got to say. Yeah, let's get things back to normal. They're going to listen to what Fauci has to say. You see, and go down there and they're going to make the same mistake. Because Jake is just that damn stupid. We knew the first time that it wasn't right. But hey, like I said, shit, we was literally like ostracized, man. But it says here, but none go into the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. But the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. They go to pestilence, which we know the pestilence goes into these particular diseases. It says, and he that is in the field should die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And they that escape of them should escape and should be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, everyone for his iniquity. And all hands should be feeble, and all knees should be weak as water, right? Because, like I said, the scriptures say that the dead is going to be cast out as dung. So it says here, like the such and such, this is related microphilia, a brain-related birth defect, who is declared, from matter of fact, it says transmitted primarily through mosquitoes, don't develop symptoms, but those who usually experience rash, fever, muscle, joint pain, headaches for 2 to 7 days. Okay, and these are just some of the things that they're comparing it to, but it's going to be all this wrapped up into one. So mass judgment is coming. All right, 2 Esdras 16 and 17. Woe was me, who would deliver me in those days? And this is Esdras asking a question because we know reincarnation, the prophet Esdras is back through one of the brothers out here speaking out here on the highways and byways and doing these lessons. And I'm guarantee you he's in GMS. I know that may piss a lot of people off, but hey, through qualification, it just makes sense because, the prophets had a very stoic nature. And if you look at the men of the great millstone from the leadership, you can see the comparisons of the men of the Lord and of old. But it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. But what should I do when these evils shall come? Because like I said, it's going to be completely chaotic. Okay, people are not going to regard their governments or their leaders. They're not going to regard their neighbors. They're not going to regard the cops. And they're going to take matters into their own hands because people are going to realize that Esau has ran another one. He's ran a smuck on them. But it reads, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. But behold, victual should be so good, cheap upon the earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, because they're going to be like, wait a minute, man, we thought we went through this already. Y'all promised us that y'all wouldn't LD us again, but then your ass is back on punishment. You know, you can't even go to the park and walk your dog because you're going to have restrictions put in place. And you're going to have wellness checks, men coming around with armed rifles to make sure that you stand within the confinement of your homes. This is why we tell you, man, that foreign military, they're going to be the ones that are going to probably implement this through austerity measures, because of the simple fact, the American people is waking up to the folly, and they're not going to go for another LD. So they're already expecting people to revolt. But it says, for many of them that dwell on the earth should perish of famine, and the others that escape hunger should the sword destroy. And the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man left to comfort them. For the earth should be wasted, and its cities should be casted down. Okay? So these are the times we're entering into, man, as your world leaders are gearing up to meet. I believe they already met this week, if not today, possibly. But regardless of that, this thing is getting ready to go down. 2024 can be a year of great judgment, Lord's will. But anyway, Lord's will, you brothers and few sisters were edified. To the next lesson. How about Shema Shabrakatah? Shalom.